The event begins not with a dramatic breach but with a subtle, almost imperceptible shift in the aquatic environment. Far below the sun-dappled surface, a solitary figure patrols the cold, clear water, a permanent resident of the blue desert. It is a creature of supreme evolutionary refinement, a torpedo of muscle and cartilage nearly 20 feet in length and weighing over 2 tons. Its skin, a countershaded masterpiece of gray and white, renders it nearly invisible from above and below. Its movement is an economy of energy, a slow, powerful sway of the lunate tail that propels it forward with effortless grace. This is not a mindless monster but a highly tuned sensorium, a biological supercomputer processing a constant stream of data from the world around it. Its primary guidance system is a series of gel-filled canals running along its flanks called the lateral line. This organ detects minute changes in water pressure and vibration, painting a hydrodynamic picture of its surroundings. From a mile away, it sensed the irregular splashing frequencies, a dissonant rhythm against the ocean's usual symphony. Now, closer, the vibrations are stronger, more defined. They are not the familiar pulse of a seal or a tuna. They are erratic, chaotic. Curiosity, a primal drive in an ancient brain, is piqued. The animal alters its course, a slight adjustment of its pectoral fins, and begins to climb from the depths, drawn by the peculiar signals. As it ascends into warmer water, other senses engage. Its olfactory bulbs, capable of detecting 1 part of blood in a billion parts of water, analyze the chemical soup. There is the scent of salt, of algae, of other fish. And there is something else, the faint alien smell of sunblock, of synthetic fabric, of human biology. Its ampullae of Lorenzini, the black freckle-like pores dotting its snout, awaken. These remarkable organs detect the infinitesimal electrical fields generated by living muscle and nerve activity. They are the most sensitive electroreceptors in the natural world. Now they register the frantic, buzzing electrical signature of a beating heart, the firing of neurons, the clenching and unclenching of muscles. The picture becomes clearer. It is a living creature, large, warm-blooded, and vulnerable. The shark does not accelerate yet. It is still in an investigative mode. It sinks back into the slightly darker water below, its gray dorsal surface blending perfectly with the gloom. Its black, doll-like eyes positioned on the sides of its head now acquire a target. The shape is ambiguous, a swimmer on the surface, a surfer on a board. From below, the silhouette is confusing. The human on a surfboard presents an outline startlingly similar to that of a pinniped, a sea lion, the shark's preferred prey. The longboard is the body, the dangling legs are the flippers. It is a case of mistaken identity, a catastrophic error in perception triggered by millions of years of hunting instinct. The decision is made. The investigative circle begins. The shark, now a silent phantom, orbits the target from a distance of perhaps 50 feet. Its movements are slow, deliberate, its head turning slightly from side to side, triangulating the source of the sound, the smell, the electricity. It is a final assessment, a last confirmation. The animal's brain, though small relative to its body, is dedicated to sensory processing and instinctual action. The stimulus, the vibration, the silhouette, the electricity, has reached a threshold. The switch is flipped. Predatory drive overrides curiosity. The slow circle tightens. Then, with a single, devastating contraction of its massive trunk muscles, it enters a phase of explosive acceleration. The great tail whips side to side, driving the 2-ton body forward like a piston. It is no longer a curious patrol but a missile locked on target. It rises on a steep incline from the depths, its mouth opening in preparation. This is not a bite of malice but a bite of inquiry and predation combined. Its jaw, not fused to its skull but suspended by muscles and ligaments, protrudes forward, extending the reach of its attack. The lips pull back into a terrifying snarl, revealing the ultimate tool. The mouth is a nightmare landscape of serrated ivory. The upper jaw is armed with large, triangular, razor-sharp teeth designed for cutting and grasping. The lower jaw's teeth are narrower, more pointed, for holding and piercing. There are rows of these teeth, a conveyor belt of weaponry, with new teeth constantly rotating forward to replace any that are lost. The force behind the bite is unimaginable, generated by muscles dedicated solely to the act of closing the jaw, generating a pressure of nearly 2 tons per square inch. The moment of impact is a cataclysm of force and biology. For the human, the world simply erupts. There is no warning, no shadow, only an instantaneous, violent collision from the unseen deep. The sensation is not initially one of pain, but of overwhelming concussive force. A sledgehammer blow from a locomotive. The body is often lifted from the water, or the surfboard is shattered into splinters. Then, the physics of the bite take over. The serrated teeth do not simply puncture. They slice through flesh, muscle, and bone with horrifying efficiency. The shark, unable to chew, uses a sawing motion of its head and body, shaking its prey to sever a mouthful of tissue. The water, once clear, is instantly clouded with a plume of crimson. The initial bite is often the only one. For the shark, this first sample is a moment of sensory reckoning. The taste in its mouth, flooding over its taste buds, is wrong. This is not the rich, fatty blubber of a seal. It is bone and dense muscle and the unfamiliar taste of a terrestrial mammal. The expected reward is absent. The electrical signals have ceased in the seized portion of flesh. In the majority of cases, the shark's curiosity is satisfied, and its predatory drive is disengaged by the disappointing taste. It releases its grip. The animal, often confused by the lack of expected nourishment, will frequently retreat, vanishing back into its blue world as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind a chaos of pain and shock. But for the victim, the event is only beginning. The trauma is both massive and precise. The wound is not a clean cut, but a devastating, degloving injury, a cavity of torn and shredded tissue where a limb or a section of torso used to be. Arteries severed cleanly by the razor teeth pump life out into the water in rhythmic, weakening pulses. The pain, held at bay by shock and adrenaline, arrives as a second, all-consuming wave. A white-hot, searing agony. The instinct to struggle is primal, but it creates more movement, more vibration, which could potentially re-engage the predator's interest. Survival now depends on a desperate retreat, on stemming the catastrophic loss of blood and on the intervention of others. The event, lasting perhaps a second from impact to release, leaves a permanent scar on the victim's body and psyche. It is a random, brutal intersection of two worlds that were never meant to meet, a testament to the raw, unfeeling power of nature and the fragile vulnerability of those who venture into the domain of the ocean's most perfect predator.